Alabama lawmakers are approaching the remaining days of the legislative session as this week marks 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah, and WDHN State Capitol reporter Maddie Biertemple recaps what they passed so far and what's left on their agenda.
The session started off on a bipartisan note with lawmakers unanimously approving mandatory minimums for fentanyl dealers. It's the first bill Governor Ivey signed into law this session.
The legislature was behind the times with the drug use that was going on now. We just caught up to date with the dealers and what they're using.
The bipartisanship ends there, though. A bill changing the state's good time rules for inmates, dubbed by Republicans the Deputy Brad Johnson Act, got pushback from Democrats over concerns it will worsen prison overcrowding.
Can you imagine a facility overcrowded, no resources, no rehabilitation, everything you've done is ignored by the parole board and you have no hope?
Ivey signed that into law, too, along with a package of economic incentive bills she calls the game plan, aiming to draw businesses to the state. Bills still working their way through the State House address school choice and a grocery tax cut. Political analyst Steve Flowers predicts the final few days, however, will be dominated by how to spend the state's budget surpluses. He even thinks the House may do away with the $100 rebates the Senate approved in the education budget in efforts to save for an economic downturn.
It's much harder when you got too much money, which is this year, than when you have very little, because everybody's fighting over that extra money.
Flowers says the biggest surprise this session is the push by Republicans to cut the state's grocery tax over time.
I think it's going to pass. I think they've reduced it. It's not the full doing away with it, but I think that one may get through. But everything's up in the air now.
Now, another big topic that has yet to come up this session is legislation that would put the question of the lottery up to the voters. There are still 9 days left this session. Reporting in Montgomery, Maddie Biertemple, WDHN News for the Wiregrass.